Presentation up and yeah,
Good morning,
we can.
everyone.
Oh God, can you
Good
try that
morning.
again?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the ROID podcast.
Episode
Today,
number.
we'll episode number, the last episode.
I think I remember why we don't want an introduction anymore, but oh well, I'm just gonna keep this in based on feedback that it's hard to listen to one after another in quick succession because everything flows so seamlessly. I think.
Oh,
Anyway,
but yeah, how Darren? How have your end of years went? Like, how do you do?
you're really gonna start off the dialogue like this.
Yeah,
But my standard
I mean,
answer to everyone was exams are terrible, my results are good enough.
oh
And
wow,
there is no more elaboration from me.
oh okay. So you usually when people say that, I just assume they like actually did very well. Yeah.
I think I think there is some truth in your statement.
Because
Cause
right, you see,
mm,
okay, yeah, like honestly, right, when some people score well, right, if like sometimes they okay, yeah, they might want to be humble and therefore they say that okay, I did decent, I did all right. But then yeah, yeah, and I feel that that's actually like yeah, that's kind of like the attempt to be humble is yeah, I feel it's quite nice, but then I feel that sometimes they're kind of forced, in some ways to say that because if they say things like, for example, oh, I got 40 points this term, and if they don't phrase it in a certain way to kind of cut to kind of I don't know how to put it, like put down that achievement, some people might just like say that they're being arrogant and stuff.
yeah, I know what you mean, and this feels oddly familiar. It's like we discussed this before, but the issue is way more prominent now.
Oh
I don't
really?
know.
But
I don't know.
like
Like, has it just been? Have we discussed it before, or has this thought just been running in my mind forever? I,
you
in
oh
either
yeah,
case, I think it's equally bad. Well,
but
I don't know. I
yeah,
guess false humility is it worse than
arrogance.
yeah? Because
Yeah.
there was one day when I was going home, and then some guy came up. I was going home with my friend, and then
Mm.
some guy came up to my friend, and the conversation was nice. I mean, the conversation started off nice, like, "Oh, where are you going now?" And then my friend was like, "Home." And then the next question after that was, "So how do you do for promos?" And then I just wanted to die.
I,
Yeah.
I guess like now the go to conversation starter has shifted from uh has shifted from what's your subject combi, what's your cast to how do you do for promos, because
Actually, though,
yeah, it's just like every time, right, it's just whatever is the most recent thing, it is like becomes the most like popular conversation starter. For example,
isn't that
I
like the
noticed on
norm?
like yeah, it is the norm actually. It's like after the physics lesson, everyone's like, "Oh, how's your physics?" And like 1 week later, everyone's like, "How much you get for physics?" Yeah,
Physics
uh,
can't relate.
but I guess it's also the easiest way to kind of engage in conversation because yeah, cause not like everyone is in constant contact with each other, right? So like they just catch up by using this sort of stuff. Oh yeah, but okay, back to the topic about the humility and arrogance. Yeah, but. Mm,
Which is worse actually.
like honestly, I
Because
feel it's very hard.
I
Yeah.
could tell from like that question that my friend got was that it was like yeah, the guy was just there to flex.
Oh, legit.
It
Oh man.
sounded like that.
Oh, but
Like
what's what?
the casual slip in or how did you do for promos?
Oh, but I guess sometimes it's also the tone, because okay, how should I put it? Sometimes, right, when someone's actually trying to be like genuinely, uh, they're genuinely trying to be humble about their scores, right? But then because they score so well that someone takes it that their tone is very, very negative and very, very arrogant and show offy, and then that leads to them being very irritated. And especially, and that's like especially clear if the person didn't really do well, and then due to this, so whenever someone says something about like anything academics related, then they'll just get very. It's like it just becomes a touchy
No,
topic.
I think the blame should lie with the person who asked, not like the response. Cause I think it's understandable if you don't want to get if you don't want to receive flack for scoring well. So you act humble, or maybe you really are humble and just comes off wrong. So like, I don't think we should blame them. I think you should blame those that know that they did better than others and ask that question just to feel good.
Better. Okay, yeah, I do agree.
That's a euphemism for something way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to like the select 13 friends, I think, ish, that know what the situation is about. Yeah, I hope you're having a good laugh. Alright, anything else you want to comment on arrogant people?
I was just really confused by what 13 people, but okay, but then what I would like to add, right, is how there's also there's humility, there's arrogance, and then there's also jealousy, you know. I
Jealousy.
mean, yeah, would we not say that there is like an element of jealousy if
I
someone
mean,
reacts if someone reacts very negatively to someone saying that, okay, for example, if person A asks person B how well do you do, and person B says something like, oh, I got like maybe a good score, okay, what a good score like 40 points, then if person A goes all like oh, shut up blah, you know, and then just keeps like you know, trying to
wait, so
I,
wait, hold on. Let's recreate the situation. Because it sounds kind of unlikely that such a situation even happened. So assume that you scored like 43 out of 42, okay?
oh,
Okay, then I go up to you. So, wait, sorry, let me click on. So how do you for promos?
okay, but the thing is, right, the one that I witnessed, right, was more,
Oh,
how
you
should I put
witnessed
it?
this,
It
oh
was
god.
more, yeah, it was more in a classroom, so it wasn't really, it wasn't a sort of 43-point situation. It was more of a, perhaps say 90 out of 100 for maybe math or something, you know.
I want that
Yeah.
score.
Yeah, but basically what I witnessed was that someone was looking at the marks, and then the other person was just very, he just seemed very agitated, you know, and it was like for nothing. It was just like just like it was, I just felt that the guy scored well and just let him be, you know. Why do you have to be so um salty and
Salty, yes.
yeah,
We've reverted back to our
slangs.
yeah.
Okay, but the person was very, okay, yeah, salty, or basically he was very jealous, you know. I like, yeah, he was like, okay, me, I'm very jealous. I just felt like he was like, yeah, there was a tinge of jealousy in his tone whenever he yeah, whenever
I
he
mean I mean the boundary between envy and jealousy is quite blur in this case, because like the way I interpreted jealousy, I mean I know what jealousy and envy mean, but regarding the situation, I feel like if you ask for something and then you receive something unpleasant and then you get angry about it, it's
your
huh?
fault. Yeah.
Like that. What is the English equivalent of question mark question mark question mark?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly like that's my thought process right now.
Mhm.
But perhaps it helps to examine the reasons behind such a response. Because normally, okay, I think this is how this is how I always feel. It's just that I don't express it. So whenever we're comparing results, right?
Mhm.
Of course, it's nice to quote unquote win. So there is this in your words jealous feeling that I have when I don't win in a certain comparison.
Yep.
Like that's like the initial reaction. But then
Uh,
the second reaction, the one after I sit down and like calm myself and collect myself, is I need to do better. And then I start wanting to do better, but I don't actually take any steps to achieving better results.
yeah, I see
So
what you mean.
I think it primarily stems from a desire to do well,
Uh-huh.
which is fine and okay, not fine. Like that should be the norm.
Basically the Langlit the Langlit cartoon.
Langlet cartoon.
Oh wait, you don't know what the Langlit cartoon is?
Oh, the robot
Like
one.
the robot one, yeah.
I read it.
Basically.
I read it like once.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but the Langlet cartoon was a completely separate issue. I think
Uh-huh.
almost.
But
It's it's not really it doesn't really deal with the whole I need to do better than my peers thing.
yeah. But wait, but it. Oh no, it's because you said that it stems from a desire to do well, right? So I was kind of trying to say that it's linked to the whole education, how the whole education system, like the concept of that education system drives you to, mindlessly try and just grind for the score.
It's not really the education system as much as it is our culture.
Actually, yeah, the culture also. Okay, but before we move there, right? What I want to say is that the problem that I like the okay, how should I put it? I do see like it's almost like jealous about how should I put it? It's just that it's just okay when I witnessed it, right? I just felt it was that I just felt that the person like he kind of I don't know how to put it. He was just too serious about like his tone was just
But
too
one of indignation.
yeah, kind of,
Do,
yeah.
do you need to
So
Google? Do you need to Google what that word means?
um okay, fine.
You've
I'm a
done it.
English. I'm a SL lit 4 pointer. Can you give me a sec? Oh, okay. Yeah, he sounded indignated, and he even sounded like as if he kind of resented the person for his like score. So I felt that it's fine to feel like jealous for someone's score because yeah, I feel jealous for someone's score, but then I feel that I don't know how he put it, is I kind of felt like he took it personally or something, to the point that yeah, I just felt it was very unwarranted.
I mean, I don't think that you or I are I don't think any of us my grammar isn't working, but I don't think any of us are in a position to comment on emotional reactions. Like not okay, none of us are qualified to judge an emotional reaction because I always feel that initial reaction is something that's been built into you. So
Uh,
there's
but
that.
right, yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm not I'm just putting it out there that that technique works. I've
What?
spoken to a few friends about it. They have turned their academic grades around out of spite.
Okay, yeah. Oh, actually, actually, right. I guess I can relate. Now that I
Oh
actually think about it,
goodness.
because when for example in secondary one, okay,
One.
I yeah, in secondary two, this person scored better than me, and then it was kind of the spite that drove me to study a bit more. But that's it. But that's it. And that was when I was still very sec one. Still my mindset was still very odd, I guess. And
I
right, and I kind of witnessed like this person act this way more than once. So I wouldn't really say that it's an initial reaction anymore. I'll just say it's more of his. Yeah, I'll just say that his perspective, perhaps, in this whole issue is
maybe it's
a
just like
bit.
the inability to change, no?
Mm, no.
No, but
Yeah.
I feel that I feel that that is on him. Like in order to change your reactions or attitudes towards something, you need to change the things you do.
Hmm.
So, I was thinking, can we move on from the emotions part and the doing stuff part?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then
So going back to the whole
culture.
no, not culture, not culture. Enough about culture. I feel that we've gone like that is something that will take a long time to overcome. Maybe on the individual level. So as I was saying, right, you know when I feel upset that someone did better in this assignment than me,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, okay, well, I don't want that to happen again because I am competitive. So I will just try harder. And that's the thought that enters my head. And then no part of me changes. I still sit in front of my desktop for 4 hours a day doing nothing, and then realizing at 11 p.m. that I have a lot of assignments to do, or like I've wasted my whole day.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to ask you, how do you cope with living up to expectations?
Uh, wait. Why did you just suddenly bring up expectations? Like, yeah, it's
Well,
because
cause in my case, it's a self-imposed expectation to do
oh
well.
oh 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 okay, I get it now. For me, I'll just say that my expectations towards myself is, how should I put it? It's kind of, I do not have that high expectations of myself. So
Really?
basically, at least not this year. I actually say that at least not this year. I mean, last year, yeah, sure, I had like I had very very high expectations of myself, but then now I just feel that, like for example, the end of years this year, I just saw it as, oh, as long as I promote, I'm fine. Rather than rather than being so focused on getting, maybe like, say, oh, like first in a subject, because, and I guess also because the competition this year is a lot stronger, so I kind of
So you just threw in the towel. Oh, competition strong. I can no longer be the big fish in a small pond.
but but yeah, but yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, I kind of threw in the towel because I saw it as there was basically no point for me to strive that hard, because at the end of the day, so what, even if we got me, okay, maybe I shouldn't discount this sort of achievement that much, but then it's just that I saw it as, even if I put in all of the extra effort, at the end of the day, a 7 point is still a 7 point. Okay, at least that is what I would like to tell myself, because yeah, and yeah, to kind of reassure myself of my lack of additional effort. But
Wait, I don't get the part about 7 points is 7 points. 7
for
equals 7.
example, oh, okay, yeah, okay, fine. Oh, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, what
Basically,
you
what
trying to
what
say?
okay, what I was trying to say is that, right? No matter how high or how low in the 7 point spectrum you like the range of scores you score, there's no, like, at the end of the day, it's still a 7 point. For
Oh,
example,
oh, 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 oh.
yeah. For example, for econs, right, I got really bad. I don't want to say it, but then basically I got a high 4 point, and then my friend that got maybe like I think he got 6 marks lesser for the actual paper one. Then he got a low 6 point, low 4 points. Then it just there's no, at least I don't see the incentive anymore in striving for the very top in any subject, because it will
So,
probably
so,
compromise my
so,
other subjects.
like
And
a borderline 7 is the same thing as a high 7.
yeah, at least I perceive that now, because even if I get first in the subject, but then I would dedicate a lot more of my effort into the subject. So my other subjects would definitely suffer, and I don't see the point of dragging down my overall grade just so one subject I can, like, just so I can achieve well in a singular subject.
Well, that is an IB approved statement. Being an all-rounded student.
But right, that's it, right? My weaker subjects still are my weaker subject. Oh my gosh, English, I cannot. English, I actually cannot. I'm permanently stuck at 5 points since Sec 3. Oh my god.
Well,
But
you just need to practice. That's the standard
yeah,
response to everything. Everything school
yeah,
related. It's not really right in the real world, but yeah, for now it's just
it works. It
for
works.
now it's just grind. As much as they
Yeah.
say we are training you to be creative thinkers, creativity can be trained.
Mm,
It sounds dystopian.
mhm.
Yeah. So, since we're on the more positive, practical, or on a more positive or practical note of improvement, let's talk about feedback, which is currently a very, very interesting topic.
Why is it?
Just because of the or like on this day, the what of October, the 31st of October, feedback has been on my mind for most of the day.
As in feedback regarding your end
Just
of years?
just the term feedback in general.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's start off small with feedback for assignments. Now, I remember that in episode 3 or 2, we talked about how you should deliver feedback, right? The whole do you just start criticizing every part? Do you be blunt and straightforward, or do you try and like uh
Uh,
pad the criticism?
oh, I remember now. Yeah, I remember that.
Now, I implore you to take the to think of the opposite, receiving feedback.
Mhm.
So,
Uh,
how do you deal with feedback?
I mean, to be honest, I tend to okay, at least okay. The only sort of feedback I really remember as of now is the feedback for my English essays, and then because English is my weaker subject, so whenever I get feedback for it, I do read the feedback, but then the feedback tends to be quite vague, such as your analysis is insufficient. So usually what you're
The
supposed to
standard,
do is
yeah.
yeah. So you're supposed to go and consult the teacher and ask for how to improve, right? But then I just kind of delay that until it's too late. Okay, not until it's just say one term later, and then I just don't want to ask it anymore because why would I bother the teacher with my one term ago stuff? And especially since my teacher changed two
Oh,
times, so I so to get feedback for my work 1 month ago, I have to go arrange with my old English teacher so that he can and then just I just see it as quite troublesome. But then if the feedback is something that I can really easily improve now, then yeah, sure, I would definitely remember. I'll definitely remember that. But then
so
if it's something,
so in other words, you're saying that I will work on the feedback that is convenient, easy to execute, and overall trivial.
uh, yeah. I mean, after all, okay. I am quite sure one feedback that many of us have heard before is that we should read the news more.
Nope.
And you've never heard of that before? Like,
I mean,
none of your
not
teachers ever asked you
like
to do that?
not feedback for like my writing, but just
Oh,
yeah, I don't really hear about that.
but okay, but okay, no, no. When I said I didn't really mean feedback for English, I just meant as in teachers generally. Actually, okay, that's really considered feedback, huh? But like okay, how should I put it? It's okay, yeah. I guess from English I have heard before the teacher saying that I should go read more, and Chinese also I should read more. I should listen to Chinese more, and
Yeah.
some yeah.
Are you going to do the thing where the night before uh the Chinese paper you play Chinese songs on loop for
Ah,
8 hours?
no. What? Wait, people actually do that?
Or unironically, yeah.
But there's no point listening to it though. I feel that
I'm
writing it
just
out is
saying,
more.
I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh, that's.
That's how some people prep to this time. It's pretty funny.
but but basically when the teachers say things like that, sometimes it it will definitely help, but then it involves a literal lifestyle
Change.
adjustment, or change. So it is very hard to sometimes the feedback like the reason why convenient ones are the reason why I much rather work on the convenient ones, it's just because they're a lot easier than the ones that actually will help. But then I do acknowledge the fact that we should
So
strive to
basically, you don't want to swallow the bitter medicine.
I don't want to put in effort.
Oh, thank you for being honest.
Uh,
Oh, for me. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, until this year. This year I was quite scared for English too because the demands were suddenly higher, and
Uh-huh.
then yeah, something prompted me to practice harder.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, that.
which I did not expect to see myself doing for English of all subjects.
But that's good. Yeah, that's good one. I mean,
Thank you for the compliment.
yeah, it's good.
But
But
okay, so generally it sounds like we have a very receptive attitude to feedback.
aha. But then whether we apply it is another thing.
And whether you apply it is a different thing, and like
Yeah.
regarding the whole lifestyle change, but let's shift it to later since we're still talking about talking.
Hmm.
Actualization comes after you process all these thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So has there ever been a time where you disagreed with the feedback given to you?
Um, Disagreed. Huh?
Because like I heard from one of our mutuals that
Oh.
the teacher circled his answer, and I think it's our mutual lah. The teacher circled his answer and then put a cross, and then the oh boy, it's raining.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And then.
and then the comment was just no. And then he was quite tempted to just know the feedback back out of spite.
The person circled it, then crossed it, and then wrote no. Actually, wait.
As in,
This sounds.
it's like if you wrote 1+1=3.
Uh,
If I was marking that, I would circle it and put a big cross and write NO in all caps with a full stop at the back, probably like 2 underlines too.
mm-hmm. Wait.
Okay, okay, that's a bit of like a hyperbolic expression, but you get the idea. Sometimes somebody says something and you just feel you just can't accept it.
Aha, yes.
In that case, what do you think what do you think you would do, not should do?
Oh,
Be a bit more primordial. What would
what
you do?
I mean, I would definitely just ignore the feedback and then go grumble about it for a while.
Have you considered challenging the feedback?
Uh, um, I mean, I would certainly not challenge it. Actually, it
Okay,
depends. It depends to the.
assuming that the feedback comes from someone of like the same power level as you, like from a friend or something.
Oh, then I'll definitely. I would. Okay, I would see. I would first think about whether it is worth it to even bother challenging it, because sometimes if you just ignore the feedback, like if you just ignore the person's feedback, then it is a certain way of going against the feedback.
Ignoring the feedback.
Yeah, but but so if it's a friend that gave a feedback and then like resist, but then if I feel strongly about it, then yeah, I would definitely resist it. And yeah, I mean, for example, if I'm really doing something and then the person feedbacks me saying that I should, like for example, if I am frequently studying math as the studious student that I am, and then my friend comes around and tells me that, oh, I think you are being a little too relaxed about your academic preparation, then I would definitely challenge that feedback, because he obviously doesn't know that I'm putting in a lot of hard work. And so yeah,
Oh, but here's the thing. See, okay, I love the situation that you gave because this is the problem with uh conversations. So let's say there is you studying math and math and math and math only based on whatever you just said, and then your friends like I feel you're not prepared. Your preparations are not well enough. The thing is, both of you are right. Because in your all case, you really are being hardworking by constantly staring at numbers. And your friend is right because math is one out of the 6 subjects that you are going to be examined in.
okay.
So, in that case, challenging the feedback may What do you mean by challenging the feedback then?
As in, how should I put it? I would basically just tell them that that I do not think that their feedback
Okay,
was
do you tell
necessary.
them? Do you tell them politely
Or
or
uh,
in a tone that expresses your upset?
definitely with I would definitely sound annoyed because yeah, I'll definitely sound annoyed because like if it's a friend, there's no reason for me to really sound polite, you know. Yeah, yeah. I'll just say that yeah, I think I'm studying sufficiently and that you should mind your own. Actually, no, okay, no.
Okay,
But
okay.
yeah, I'll challenge it,
Let's
in that
try.
way.
Let's try a different. Let's play with different power dynamics. I already know what you're going to say if someone senior says it to you. You're just going to accept and then probably complain about it to your friends. But what if someone with less power than you comments on your uh habits? Let's say
Hmm.
like your junior, for example.
Um, I mean, I don't really interact with my juniors, but if
Yeah.
it's someone of less power, then
Okay,
I don't really.
suppose it's like suppose a 15-year-old is commenting on future use study habits when you are 6 months away 3 months away from the IB.
I mean, I would definitely be annoyed, but then at the same time, if the person does have less power, I probably would not, or if he has a lot less credibility, then
Not
I
credibility,
do not
power, just power alone.
power. I would. It depends on what he says because if the feedback actually makes sense to me, then I might actually think about it. But then if it's just complete nonsense, such as maybe some junior, maybe some junior just saying that, just critiquing what I'm doing and saying, perhaps saying, oh, you're not studying enough for your exams when I'm just like literally studying in front of him. Then yeah, I'll just ignore it because that yeah I'll just ignore it because I don't see the point of wasting my energy trying to argue with
Do
yeah
you
with,
do,
with,
do you ever
with
do you ever feel
someone.
that maybe you could turn the feedback around? Let's say like it's October and you're both studying for your end of year. Okay, yeah. Let's assume that their end of years are in October too. So it's October and you're studying for your end of years or your promos, whatever. And then when he comments, you are not studying enough. I mean, or your preparations are poor or something. Do you feel the temptation to just turn it around on them and say, "How about you? What are you doing? How are your preparations coming along?"
I I mean um I feel that I would probably not end up in that situation, but yeah, I guess that is for me to react to it, and that will be yeah, and I guess you're able to turn it around to like such that the other one that has to tolerate the feedback, then it's quite a good um it's a decent
It's
way to react.
decent. I feel that it's rather cheap.
I mean,
It's basically if you ignored the feedback but worse.
but then if the feedback itself that the person is telling you is just completely worthless, right? Then I don't really. Then I see that turning it back on them is actually um is actually like an alright reaction.
Okay, then suppose that maybe it's like a question. I
Such
don't know.
as
It feels as though it feels like if someone asks you a question and you respond to the question with a question of a similar nature. I feel that the person who pulled that Uno reverse card is the one subject to criticism.
hmm,
I don't know.
hmm,
That's just how I feel. It's quite a weird way for a conversation to happen.
yeah
And then regarding the whole feedback thingy, suppose you are the one asking for feedback and
yeah
then you reject the feedback. It's once again another question mark question mark question mark moment.
yeah that would be quite odd and quite irritating for like even the person like quite irritating for the person giving the feedback.
Can you imagine like someone is trying to help you and you're just like, no.
But yeah, that will actually be quite irritating, huh?
I think it's just more than irritating. It, it,
It's
you know what really angers me?
uh,
If
no.
that happens, and besides ignoring the feedback, the person who received the feedback is upset that the feedback is not of their liking.
Oh yeah, those. But then I guess for those people, if they cannot handle the feedback, then they should just just not ask for it. Cause, yeah, because
Yeah,
I've
I mean,
already asked
I
for it.
don't really think like that's a that's like okay. It could be argued that this problem could possibly be caused by the person who gave the feedback. You know, the whole episode 3 thing. Do you deliver it bluntly or like pad it so much that it could practically become like the five surfaces bedroom. You've seen that right where the whole room is just bed.
No, I haven't seen that, but then it just
Yeah,
sounded
but
quite funny.
yeah, but see imagine like if the whole room was bed, so there's padding everywhere. Yeah, do you deliver feedback like that?
Um, but
Yeah, so like you could blame it on the person who's giving feedback just as much as you could blame it on the person receiving feedback.
mm,
And I feel that just generally a receptive attitude is good enough. Whether you choose to ignore it afterwards or yeah, even if you disagree, perhaps it is nice to have a dialogue with the person that you are disagreeing with rather than just shutting them down.
okay, yeah, that is
I
true.
think that is truly the only way to improve as a person.
Mm,
Yeah, that's it for me. That's it from
okay,
me.
yeah, I I
So
will.
I'm taking a look at my list of topics here. Yeah,
Uh,
okay. So feedback, right? Let's go on to the whole ignorance part. Because to some extent, ignorance is bliss. But
mm,
not but and in some cases, ignorance is necessary.
oh really? Such as?
You know, okay, let's start with like a stimulus activity. So you know how in one of those really cheap in one of those really cheap videos where they're like count the number of people that are doing this and that. And then
Mm.
as you're focused on counting the number of people doing this and that, some like brown bear walks by the screen, and at the end of the video, they're like,
Ah,
Did you happen to notice the one thing that you were not focusing on?" And then they're like, "Wow, you should pay attention to your surroundings, and it's oh so deep." I hate it.
uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
so basically that, right? If anything, I think that video proves otherwise that some things are just meant to be ignored. Imagine if you walk to school and you pay attention to everything around you, like what is the color and license plate and type and model of that car that is on the third furthest lane away from me.
Mm. Yeah,
And the,
it'd be quite pointless.
it'd be quite pointless and it would be quite impossible. Yet, for some reason, when you apply this impossibility, when you apply this logic or concept into living, it seems like an impossibility. You
What?
and I guess you do agree that that really in life you should only focus on the few on like a few things that matter a lot.
Yeah.
What those few things are depends on the individual.
Mm.
But for some reason we also focus on things that shouldn't matter.
Such as.
Let's say for example, okay, there's this Reddit post I found, which is about the IB, which is pretty funny. So basically the comment was, hold on, let me pull it up. I know I sent it to my class immediately after I saw this because it was hilarious. Yeah. Ah, here. Okay, so this is a post about yeah, the post was basically IB tips and tricks Yeah, and then one of the responses was, oh yeah, okay, basically the person who posted was asking for IB tips and tricks, and then one of the comments was, or the replies was, do not worry much about others. Do everything by yourself and don't care about your classmates' opinions.
What the
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, there is some truth in it because at the end of the day, it is a pretty much solo journey
Uh-huh.
in the pragmatic sense.
Yeah. But
But sometimes, but okay, we obviously know that such advice, when followed through perfectly, is terrible advice. But sometimes it really works, you know? Like, why should you care? You know the whole ignore the haters thing? Yeah, something like that.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but moving beyond haters, right? How do you silence the irritating background noises in your life?
Hmm. Yeah, because sometimes you just can't ignore them, huh? So you just have to.
Yeah,
And then
you know how when you're dealing with like a toxic person, you just distance yourself from them. But within the school setting, it's a bit hard to, well, have social, like actual social distancing in the whole emotional disconnect sense, not in the COVID sense.
uh-huh. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I actually have no idea how to go about doing this because I, I I don't like the school setting because it is a really weird blend of anonymity and community.
oh yeah, yeah, that is quite true. After all, I can say for sure that there's some people that I just saw that I just see, like for example in Zoom, and then I just wonder whether they were even in the school for like
So
yeah.
yeah, that is the problem, right? So like, how do you overcome this type of problem? Like, how do you ignore? Okay, but okay, that's a whole other topic. Let's go back to what we're talking about. How do you ignore the things that should be ignored?
How do you ignore the things that should be ignored? Oh, you mean like people being toxic and like perhaps someone discrediting you for doing something even though you fully deserve the credit or something? Like,
Yeah,
you mean that?
or perhaps like some or like just comments, you know, comments that really shouldn't affect your life.
Hmm. Comments that shouldn't affect my life. Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, this is hard.
the short answer is you just ignore lah.
Yeah, but it's very hard to just it's very hard to just ignore, especially if you just hear it very frequently. An example that you can see around us perhaps is people that are being surrounded by other people who are very academically driven and very competitive, and so their parents put pressure on their academics, and their friends also do, and therefore it's very hard for the person to just silence this background noise and just be content with his score and and not be influenced by this noise and study harder and strive for good grades.
If you're confined it to the academic setting, I think a more fitting example would be how we celebrate the achievements of those who did well in their promotional exams.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
the thing they always do every inaugural.
Founders Day, yeah,
Oh yeah,
Founders
Founders
Day,
Day, yeah.
the award ceremony.
Yeah. I guess that is one form of noise.
Yeah, that is quite true. Um,
I don't
okay,
know,
okay.
like this just came to me as we're talking about it.
Uh-huh.
You know how I said that you can train creativity? Yeah, you can also train ignorance and uh and manual emotional disability.
Would you really say that you can train ignorance, or you just I wouldn't believe that you can train ignorance. It's more of a okay. I guess if you mean training them in the wrong sense, as in not letting them experience some things
No,
that
no,
can.
not that. Like train ignorance as in ignorance, not as in like in the foolish sense, but more of like the
Oh,
I am going to cut you off. I am making an effort to cut you off sense.
how about wait, I still don't understand.
No, like
Oh,
how do I put it? If someone is saying mean things to you, or like just making casual conversation that occasionally includes remarks that you don't like, I feel that uh the first few times, or the first few times before you make an attempt to drown it out yourself, it will affect you because you are very receptive to these comments in the wrongest way. But if you just I think you just need constant reminders to to ignore such comments, which is really way. See, sometimes I wish that we could also like drown out your dog. For so many other Discord calls, I've always allowed your dog to dominate the conversation, and always like keep quiet as he's speaking. But now I'm taking a deliberate step to talk over your dog to assert my dominance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
continue.
basically something like this.
Yeah.
Your dog, in this case, forms the irritating background noise that needs to be drowned. And I'm reminding myself that I am the human here and my voice is more important.
Yes, but then it's not that easy, is it?
Such is the nature of noise.
So what do you think people can, as in how, okay, how should I put it? If you cannot change the background noise, then all you can change is yourself, right? But then at the
Obviously.
same time, but then at the same time, how? Actually, it is, it's also quite obviously very difficult to do so.
In some sense, I am quite grateful for your dog for barking like a rude, uninvited guest because it demonstrates the
Your
one and
point.
only step that you really need to take, which is just to remind yourself that you are more important than another person's comments. Okay, comments.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
how you feel about like wait, if you want to feel better, like you gotta prioritize yourself over what another person says about you.
True.
But if life has taught us anything, is that everything must be done in moderation. This privileging of the self is a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
So the
because
second method that I propose
we got
is reminding
yeah.
yourself that you are worthless and insignificant.
Oh,
If you if
but
you if you really think about it, right, you let these comments affect you, or people make oh yeah, you can perceive that you let these comments affect you because people are intending to drag you down, especially in cases where it's really just an offhand remark and they are just terrible people to be around.
yeah, then
Yeah.
just
So
to
remembering that you are just one of the many is, well, there is a certain comfort in anonymity. It's kind of like how, you know, famous people are more at risk of dying, hence they need more protection. It's the kind of logic.
um wait, but when you're talking about worthlessness and insignificance, how do you suddenly tie it to anonymity?
So that's basically anonymity, isn't it? I mean, it's just a reminder that you are one of the many. Is a form of insignificance, and what?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this idea of blending into your surroundings.
Oh, okay. But I guess this method is possible, but someone definitely shouldn't I guess, like needless to say, someone shouldn't completely internalize this sort of idea, because if they do, then their whole concept of their self, that okay, I can say for sure that if they do, then their self-worth will be pretty much gone, because if you view yourself as worthless, right, like, oh yeah, basically your self-worth is,
I
not
mean,
there, man.
yeah, like as we discussed like in the earlier episodes, this thought, like the obsession over the thought of my actions don't matter any, no, no. the obsession over this thought that I am less important than everyone else, therefore I deserve special treatment is in itself bad. But then that it
Yeah.
could also go like the other, not the other extreme alternative, where it's my actions don't matter anyway, so whatever. It's
Yeah.
basically chaotic neutral.
Yeah. So I guess there's also another moderation sort of thing,
Yeah,
as
I
in,
mean, yeah, it is very hard to moderate. All we can do is lay out the ends of the spectrum and through experiences find that middle ground.
uh okay, yeah,
Yeah.
sounds
It sounds nice. It sounds nice, doesn't it? Oh, just treat everything nicely.
yeah,
Yay.
yeah. It's very easy to 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 say these sort of things, huh?
Yeah.
But school is teenage years are a journey, for us to discover ourselves.
Yeah, supposedly, but for some reason that is when academic expectations are at an all-time high, which is
Yeah.
kind of stupid. And
Especially when people don't even know what they want to do, then it's just you're working for nothing. Like you're working towards, yeah, it's like, yeah, you're just working you're putting all this effort without really a goal. And I feel that this whole situation is kind of like sad in a certain way, or pitiable in a certain way.
well, normally I write off everything that I don't agree with as tragic or a tragedy. So the situation that you just described is a tragedy.
Oh,
I mean, I've long given up trying to uh change everything instantly, but maybe one day I'll go back to refining my thoughts and opinions. Yeah. So, speaking of thoughts and opinions, since we are coming to the end of the end, how do you feel
yeah.
that this whole year has been?
Uh,
We
honestly, right?
we started off in April-ish, right?
Yeah, kind of. But I'm very shocked that I'm still quite surprised that the year already ended. But then at the same time, like I don't mind that it has ended, because the work, oh gosh, the work. But yeah, I feel this year was just like every past year was, or perhaps every time they had a huge jump in anything. For example, like by huge jump I mean like P6 to Sec 1, Sec 2 Sec 3, then Sec 4 to like GC 1. Yeah, I feel that just like every time that happens, right? We basically, yeah, it's just always an eye opener. Not only in the academic sense, because we like the content just becomes a lot more, and the academic responsibilities become a lot more. But then, yeah, I also feel that the the I guess the things that we hear and learn that's like not academically related is also, it's like this sort of exposure. I feel it will be helpful in the future. Like, because uh um yeah, it will just be more helpful in the future.
Wait, I wanted you to review the year, not go off on a on a rant about the on like the merits and flaws of the IB program.
Oh,
But okay,
okay, yeah,
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
I get your point, but I mean, I think I get your point.
Okay. So basically, the year was fast, but
Isn't that
it has
every year?
passed already. So what?
Isn't that pretty much every year?
Okay, yeah, that is true. But then,
Like every year in October, I'll be like, oh gosh, 10 months have flown by. Well, flown by is a nicer way of saying that things are out of my control, but
mm,
I don't know. Like every time, even before like this conversation that we're having now, that we are having now, I whenever someone talks about the year, right, like all over the internet, it's just January, February, March, and then question mark, question mark, question mark, July.
oh yeah. Oh
Like
no,
it feels as though those months didn't exist,
yeah,
and
but
I find it kind of funny.
it's always like that. Yeah, but every time at the end of the year, we all just like just sit around and just be like, wow, a year has passed.
Yeah, I don't know,
Wow,
but I feel that maybe it's just this year it's more prominent. Like the gap is more prominent because you don't see people
HBO.
and
Yeah.
everything is just like the internet. In other years,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure we always face this. It's just that we never really mind it because sometimes there are memories that were formed in like March and April and May.
Yeah, but this time it's just purely
And it's just
just
blank.
computer for a month. That is true. And then you also cannot go out somewhere, so you can't even make your own memories. All you can do is what, like exercise perhaps, but
I,
then I'm not
you
sure
could
about
clearly
that.
this moment would be marked by I don't know, people going crazy on like on the internet. I mean, there is the second round of crazy right now, but we're fortunate enough to not have to go through it. So, welp. Yeah, but you see, the thing that I wanted to surface here is like the problem with planning. Most
Oh,
most of
okay.
like I think we all came into this program with plans. Our teachers came into this year with plans, but all of it had to be changed. And like even in the case of this series too, we planned for stuff to happen and stuff didn't happen. So yeah,
Yeah.
plans were changed. So like I from this whole year, all I felt was that maybe planning is a waste of time. But then I also counter myself by saying that because you didn't plan, you have no work ethic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
But
like I mean the easy answer is oh just moderate your planning and non-planning, but what do you think of the whole thing? I feel like I can
the
go on forever
whole
about this, about the whole issue with planning.
I mean, as someone that doesn't plan at all, I just see that I just like okay. I feel that for some things, yeah, sure, you should plan it, but then I feel that for other things, you should just let things happen. And for me, I just tend to feel that the benefits of planning, okay, that the benefits of me saving my energy and just letting things happen greatly outweigh the benefits of if I actually plan. Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
yeah, that's
it's not really good, but it's like not
I,
yeah,
I
but it's not really bad.
I mean that's one way to go about seeing it. I mean, for me, besides whatever I just said, this is most evident when it came to CAS, because the
Well,
IB loves their planning and proposal forms, which irritates me because everything needs to be planned and then you need to so there's energy spent on planning and there's energy spent on adapting the plan. So you know how there are people that are very detail oriented and there's some people who look at the larger picture. The IB wants to be both.
that is true.
There is a really, really weird blend of structure and freedom and I'm really frustrated by this. Yeah, so
But well, what
that,
can
that,
you
that,
do,
that,
right?
that is the short version of my 10-hour lecture on why I hate many things in this world.
Oh, but we have to we have to be more flexible, adaptable for the future workforce,
Oh, don't give me that workforce crap.
especially since there's yeah
It's been recycled
then
so many
they
times.
yeah then every time it's always people always attribute it to the to what robots, robots, those technologies, so we have to be more flexible so that next time if our jobs are taken we can okay let's continue with the thing. I'm not gonna
Yeah, but
yeah
when you said overall, I thought like maybe that isn't such a bad way to live.
which way the which way
You know, your dog is really irritating, but I feel that your dog has provided the most insight into to this conversation.
okay
He barks whenever he barks. He doesn't plan for his barks. He just barks according to the situation. And I feel that if you translate barks to action and then like apply it to humans, I think that is one approach to living.
gosh okay sure
I never thought that I would make like an seemingly insightful comment from a traditional nuisance. Okay, dogs are not a nuisance. Dogs are only a nuisance when they bark. Please don't kill me, dog lovers.
But I guess, right, if you want to take that like to the next step, right, you can say that he barks. He listens to the lightning, the thunder, and then he barks. So he reacts to his surroundings.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
don't
So
know.
like being I don't know. I guess like over time you just learn what is important that you need to react to. Then this goes back to the whole what should you ignore in your life thing. You feel?
Oh, yeah. I guess everyone understands that, right, to a certain extent.
Oh,
It's
not
like,
really.
because I okay, but I do agree that sometimes it's just very hard for you to not react to something that you know that you do not have to react to.
Yeah, so it's something that you learn with age and experience. And like I say this now, but then in 5 years time when I decide to review the opinions that I expressed today, I will be criticizing them and saying, "Wow, this guy is an idiot."
But
Which is what I've said about like past me's uh thoughts, thought processes and pastor me's thought processes too. Yeah, so it's a never-ending cycle of uh refinement.
but you can also see it as a never-ending cycle of self-improvement or positivity.
I did the same thing. But yeah,
I
self improvement is a better way to put it. Yay!
yeah,
And
positivity.
then they are the stagnant people.
But then,
The people that are literally the embodiment of history repeating itself.
but I wouldn't really say they're stagnant. I'll rather categorize them into people that have changed more and changed less, because I don't
Ah,
think
definitely.
anyone will really be completely stagnant, right? I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, technically you are correct, but like on the more in the more practical sense, I am correct. Okay, just think of it like this. Imagine if you spend like your whole IB journey learning APGP and ignoring like the rest of the math syllabus. Technically, you changed and you learned, but like keep up, no?
Oh wow! I didn't expect a math reference there.
No, I use math because it was like very topical.
Okay, but okay, yeah, makes sense, makes sense.
Yeah. So, what is the main takeaway from these 8 episodes for you?
Ah, there are only 8 episodes.
Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, why did I count? But yeah, there are 8 episodes.
Alright.
I wanted to end at 9 because 9 is my favorite number.
Uh, what have I taken away?
Like, what's the main takeaway? Summarize it in like a paragraph at most.
My paragraphs are very long. But okay, basically, my main takeaway is perhaps that um, um okay, I'm not sure. Podcasts are tiring. I don't know, like talking for extended periods of time. I should not do
Oh, you
it.
don't? Actually, yeah, it is tiring.
Yeah, it is very tiring, especially since my English isn't really that good. So whenever I speak, sometimes I cannot express myself properly.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, it's like if you ask me to do a podcast in Chinese. I
I
can
mean,
I can converse in the language, just not for very long. Or
I,
my brain starts like spazzing out.
I guess another like example I can say is just how it's perhaps if I ask you to go attend maybe say I don't know math competition that lasts a few days. And
You asked me to attend the math competition that lasts an hour, and I will still say no.
yeah, but yeah, basically it's just I'm out of my element, But I guess when you're out of your element, you get to grow. Wow. Just like the,
Oh,
just like the.
it's the classic. You're going to recycle the classic. Get out of your comfort zone and explore
But
stuff.
I remember, right. I don't know when today or like someday. Okay, like within the 3 days leading up to today, I
Mm.
definitely saw one quote that was basically just saying how, oh, you not learn much if you're in your comfort zone or something. I don't remember it. Yeah, but yeah, you're basically there. But I guess no matter what you do, even if it's like something familiar or not, there's always something you take away. It just depends how you look at it.
Oh, that's such a nice way of overgeneralizing everything.
But it's true, right? I mean, I, I,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I guess.
yeah, everything there's something nice about it.
Yeah, including your dog's barking, you know.
Yeah, it just. I mean, you did learn something, so it's like
No, I
for
don't.
that.
I guess like he was just like convenient. He was just there, so I made use of him. Adaptability, applaud for me! Yay!
42 pointer.
I'm not a 42 pointer, but I wish I was.
Legit, you actually want to be a 42 pointer?
I'm just saying, like, if like that could happen without me putting additional effort, then yay, amazing.
Oh,
You know, in the whole "I wish I had $1 million" or actually working a day in my life kind of stuff.
just go gamble.
Yeah, you see, no. I don't think we're allowed to put this in, but the point is, that is what most people call a joke. You know,
Uh-huh.
the type of things that you laugh at. Yeah, so it's not meant to be taken seriously. Okay, yeah, enough of me. Yeah, so
Yes.
I guess for me the main takeaway is that there is still time to explore and develop your interests, because really, uh the whole experience of this of this podcast has been is it necessarily eye open? I guess like I won't really say it's eye opening in the I learned more about myself. And okay, I did learn more about myself. Like it isn't what the conventional what eye opening means in a conventional sense, but I did learn what it means to think long term,
Oh.
in the sense that uh it's kind of hard, because it's kind of like EE, you know. You start off very early in your IB journey with like a plan, with like plans and stuff, and then like by the time you start
So,
by the time you start writing it now, you start to discover problems, and everything's a mess. And so yeah,
oh,
it's just impossible to get perfection uh in the first try. So just keep trying and doing stupid stuff.
yeah, keep trying and you'll succeed one day.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. I mean, just keep trying and doing stupid stuff. You'll get closer to succeeding one day. I think that is more appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Although some people can argue that like the line of success is an asymptote, so that's problematic. Yeah, just do stupid stuff. I think that is the that's the best thing we can do for now.
I,
Maybe
I
it
guess
it,
that's
it
the
will
best way to. Oh,
maybe like
okay.
not in 10 years, not in 20, and like definitely not in 30.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the time you're adults, stupid stuff has to come to an end.
Yeah, but I guess as of now, that's the best way to balance like enjoyment and your
Yeah,
academics, perhaps.
and I guess like we should always be critical, or not should always be, like, but like have the ability to be critical about the things that you are fed with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, that's it for me. How anticlimactic. I just ended with okay.
Okay. Oh, we should record a conclusion actually.
Okay, well you said it. What type of conclusion would you like?
Wait, is it still like okay, so
Yeah,
yeah,
I wanted to cut it at okay, but you wanted more, so
so just say this is the end of the podcast.
even to the end, we have no outro.